we are here. We are doing podcast number 4 for Starseeds Create. And today we are here with the wonderful Christine Dorsey. She is one of the owners of Nordic on 9, which is where we are sitting right now, actually. Look at all of our wonderful merch. I actually work here also. I don't know if I've ever posted about that or anything, but now you know. And today we're doing, like I said, podcast number 4. I have the questions right here on my phone so that I can stay focused, because if you've been following us for a really long time, you know that I'm a little blah, blah, blah. and yeah, we're just gonna get into it like I've been doing. So we have some opening questions, and this is for you guys to get to know our wonderful Christine Dorsey. And first off, how are you doing today?
Hello, thanks for having me. I'm doing great. It's beautiful out. I have a wonderful interviewer in a lovely location. I feel really good.
Yes. I think we can't.
I think we nailed it.
Better place.
I know. We absolutely nailed it. Yeah.
I even went out and bought special mics so I can up my podcast game.
That's right. I feel good. I feel good about all of it.
I do too. All right. So one of my first questions, and this is so you guys can get to know Christine, for people who may be new to your work, how do you describe what you do?
So I describe myself as an intuitive healer. I am trained in Usui Reiki as a master, integrated energy therapy, and tarot. I'm a certified meditation teacher. I'm an ordained minister, but I am a spiritual healer. And so what that means is I utilize the help of the angels, of spirit, and spirit to me is the God source energy. And that really helps me to intuit what's going on with the client and to realize what emotional blocks may be happening, have resonated on a physical level. And then I'll get psychic insights into the emotional situations that may have put them there, quite frankly, and what needs to be done to move past that, all while energetically doing work to remove that. So it's a mouthful, quite frankly, but I feel really strongly about saying I'm not just a Reiki practitioner, because Usui Reiki is sort of one tool in my toolkit of gifts that I've been blessed with. So yeah.
She's, speaking from personal experience, she's incredible.
Thank you.
I had a session with her, and I think, what was it, 30 seconds in, and I was like pretty much crying, but shifted mentally. Like, I don't know, she said something that I just needed to hear in like less than a minute, and we were off to the races. So she's amazing. The name of her business also, as I learned how to do this better, is Heliotrope Holistic Healing. You can look that up and you will see her website, see everything that she offers, and learn a little bit more, even though she pretty much gave you a pretty good summary of what she does. And actually your, I guess the modality of Reiki is the first time I've ever heard of
Usui.
Usui, yeah.
Usui Reiki. And I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, but I'd say best to email me if you want to communicate with me.
Do it.
Yeah,
I totally recommend.
Yeah.
And then one question that I don't know if I put in here, but which one did you kind of get started with first out of all the things you're certified in?
Well, we'd really have to go back to the beginning if we're going to answer this whole question, right? Is that okay? I mean, we're going back. We're going. So I'm going to reframe a little bit here, because it really leads to how I ended up where I ended up. I say that my journey is like the slow boat to get there. You know, everybody's journey is different, and so we're all on a path to learn our lessons and learn our attributes and have gifts sort of open up for us when we're ready. And so for me, what happened was I had an appendix burst at the age of 5.5, and I had a near-death experience, and that was traumatic, it was divine, and it was locked away for many years. But what that did do was it instilled gifts into me of complete intuition and awareness on every level. Like most kids, nightmares. We were having a conversation the other night about when you're young, you have that awareness and openness till about age 7, 8, when it starts to shut down. And I think I had a nightmare probably every night of my life, because I just remember being terrified and sleeping in my parents' bed. So I didn't follow up to our conversation that night with Candace, but that was very much my existence. And what happened was, you know, once I came home from the hospital, I was afraid, basically, to be here.
Yeah.
You know, once you cross over into this beautiful existence and then you're back here, it becomes really cold and scary because you're in this 3D and you're like, wow, where I was so loving and peaceful, and now where I am feels really terrifying as a child. Over the years, I sort of locked away that intuition because life happened, right? We're teenagers, we're doing things, we're going to proms, we're driving cars.
In our own little world.
In our own little world, living our lives. And an interesting thing happened in my mid-20s. My brother married a woman who was a Reiki practitioner. And back then, I'm not going to, well, I guess I'll have to date myself, but this is about, it's probably going back like 27, 28 years ago. Nobody talked about Reiki.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you were lucky people talked about massage. Like, nobody really talked about that. So she would want to practice on me. So we would, you know, I would be like, yes, I'd love that. I love all this stuff. Everything metaphysical I love. So I would lay down and she would start working on me. And in this particular session, she's working on me. I'm laying there. She's seeing something. I see the same thing at the same time. Crazy. I was like, what just happened? I go, that's so funny. While you were doing that, I saw, you know, X, Y, and Z. She goes, really? Because I saw X, Y, and Z. And I was like, ooh, huh. Like it was like, ding, 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 there's something here.
Cool.
You know, and then over the years, I would say what piqued my interest was a lot of like sort of angels and oracle cards, Doreen Virtue at the time. I went to go see her. I met a good friend of mine, Arthur, and started sitting in on meditation circles. Life changed. I got divorced from my first husband. And that was really an opportunity for growth. And this is where I go, you know, life gives us like these little paths, journeys, opportunities for divinity to come in and go, oh, okay, now next chapter. Yeah. We're really going to dive in. And then I really dove in to the angels, the archangels, crystals, manifestation. And I really worked on co-creating my existence. And I really wanted to have a peaceful, beautiful life, you know. So I started, I don't want to say playing around, but really practicing what I was reading and learning about. And I found it to be actually occurring. And that led me on more of just, it was funny. It was almost like I just started to align with different people. You know, so that's in my 30s. I'm like, oh, I actually like these people over here. Oh, I'm interested in this over here.
Sure.
You know, so this is, I don't know. I think I'm answering everything. All of this is,
I have no more questions.
So, I don't know. Do you want me to keep going?
I want you to answer however you feel called to answer.
Okay.
This is easy peasy.
So, in my journey, I then I worked for a German medical device company, which was actually lovely. Integrated medical device out of Germany. My first foray into integrative medicine, emotions behind disease. Some of the best doctors that are amazing doctors that I don't think we ever talked about that.
No.
That I knew about, exposed to, had firsthand knowledge and conversations with the inventor of the device. We talked about frequency. We talked about how it affects the cells in the body.
That's incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And also, again, like, not by accident, right?
Yeah.
Not by accident. And then that was a huge awakening because I was learning so much about the physical body, learning about how the emotions really affected the physical body, learning about disease in a person and how the emotions facilitate the disease.
Oh, yeah.
So much, right? And so that was wonderful. They went back to Germany and I branched off and I actually opened up, it was a weight loss business. So,
Bill was actually telling me about that.
yeah, that's right.
I had no idea. And he was telling me about it. And I was like, Christine? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I got a lot more to learn.
Yeah, there's a lot in here. So I opened up a weight loss business for 10 years on Main Street in Cornwall.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I mean, Back then, there was like just the beginnings of Facebook. There was no Instagram. My life was a sandwich sign, and I would write things on it. And it was word of mouth.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it's going back to, folks. Like,
Yeah, we were just talking about that the
Yeah.
other day. Yeah, word of mouth.
word of mouth is everything. Like, talk to your friends and neighbors and colleagues
Yep.
because they're going to just tell you who's wonderful, right?
Yeah.
So, it was an interesting experience and lesson for me because what was happening is emotions were so dearly tied to weight. And so if my client came in and they had either a weight gain or they didn't lose weight, there was usually something that occurred. And so within the 15 minutes, we were talking about what's going on, what's happening. It was rarely about like, what did you eat?
Sure.
They wanted to tell me what had happened.
Yeah.
And so it was a 15-minute appointment. So somehow within the 15 minutes, there was this exchange of energy that was constantly happening. Now, what would happen is I had somebody who substituted for me, Doreen, at the time.
Oh, okay.
So at the time, like if my kids had a game and I couldn't, wave
Sure,
people
sure.
in, and my clients would be upset.
Oh, gee. Oh, yeah. I could see that.
They would be like, I
comfortable.
really didn't like having, and I'm like, okay. So interesting, noted. But what was happening, I started to listen and pay attention, and they would say to me, I always feel so much better after I talk to you. So there was a healing that was already naturally going on.
Sure.
And so like, how is that actually happening? I didn't know myself enough. That's the other thing. You have to really know who you are, and that I was a healer at heart. This was a tool at the time, but really I was a healer. Wow. I then expanded and I became certified by Integrative Nutrition. I changed the focus to be sort of like whole life, what's going on in your life and your relationships, preparing food, in your marriage, your kids, all that stuff. But we were dealing with the whole person, and I started doing meditation groups, and then I moved to a new office and offered large meditation groups. I had guest speakers, and I hung up my brand new sign, and that week closed for COVID.
Jeez. Oh, my goodness.
Tales all the time. We all have a story. Yeah. We were doing something, and then it took a left turn, right? It's
COVID.
Yeah, and then that happened. So at that point, it was a good time for a pause. And it made me sit with myself and really look at myself and say, you're a healer.
Oh.
And so what I did was I took my butt to some of the best healers. I drove into Connecticut, into East Rutherford, New Jersey. I became certified by certain principles and all these. And I followed what I knew felt right. And I learned from these wonderful people, met other wonderful people, took more classes. Really was raising my vibration and surrounding myself with high vibrating people.
Sure.
And naturally, like here I was with everybody. So to answer your question, to answer the question 10 minutes ago.
It's good. You nailed it. Most of it.
This is how we are every time. We can talk but we'll come back to
It's true. It's a little ADHD sprinkled in there. You know how those conversations go. We will get back to the point.
Let's come back to it. Oh, yeah, that question you asked me 10 minutes ago. It was the Usui Reiki that I started with.
Yeah.
And then it was integrated energy therapy, which is, by the way, it is it's facilitating healing from the archangels, the healing angels specifically. So I do a lot of work with the archangels, and they're my best friends.
I truly believe this.
Yeah,
100%.
And they help, and they can only help if you invite them in, and that's the work we do. And Usui Reiki is based out of love. And I also work with my other BFF, who's Christ, the Christ consciousness, and his whole focus is love. So really it's healing through love.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. Oh my gosh.
and I'm sweating.
We are in the sauna place. Big, beautiful windows over here. A little bit of a fish tank vibe. But yeah, no, that's amazing. I've never, like I said, the Usui I had not heard of before. I've just always heard of just Reiki.
Yeah.
So
there's
that's why.
Karuna Reiki. There's Yuki. There are different types.
What was the other one?
Karuna.
Karuna? Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because I'm like learning myself. And Reiki's been one of the things that I've been reading into, especially with like the energy aspect of it.
Yes.
But I hadn't heard of those names. So thank you for elaborating a little bit more into it. But in going back to the angel part, I watched this like in person when we did the session, and just watching watching you listen is so interesting. Like we were sitting across from each other, and like you go to speak, but then it was like you were receiving at the same time, and it was just fascinating to watch. It's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I look her up. So just going back a little bit, when she was talking about having an issue with her appendix, she essentially had like an NDE. So if you guys are not familiar with that, it's a near-death experience. And there are a lot of people that do go through these NDEs, and they have lots of different reactions and different things happen from it. Some people come back totally different. Some people come back better. Some people come back worse. So if you've never heard of an NDE, look it up. It's very, very interesting. I learned about it actually living with my in-laws. My father-in-law is super into NDEs. They're really kind of cool, the different stories that you hear. So actually, this is a good question. So for someone who's never experienced Reiki, how would you explain it in like a simple term?
It is a peaceful experience where you're feeling calm. You may feel almost like as you're laying on the table, or it can be done remotely very successfully, you may feel like tingles. You may feel energy or warmth run over the body. You may see in your mind's eye different colors that are occurring. And so what's happening is the energy is going into the body to remove blocks from what's called the chakra areas that we have, the energetic chakras, and realign them in the way that they should be, and move love into the body. We're taking, we're adding. So Reiki is lovely because you could just be laying on there. You can have somebody who puts just their hand on you like that, lightly touch, or just put their hand over you. That's all that's needed. Typically, I will have clients who will say, oh my God, I felt really hot, or I started sweating. And that's just the energy that's running through and around them. Typically when I'm done, depending on the person, it's funny, if I work on a person who's really intuitive, I will heat up so much. It's almost like we're bouncing off of each other.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's just amazing, the energetic exchange.
Of course.
And pretty much by the time they're done with the session, they're definitely going to feel much more calm, relaxed. There's going to be a huge relief because we're taking, as I like to say, it's like peeling layers of an onion off of a client. You know, you're removing a lot of energy, stagnant energy, stuff, life stuff that you're taking off. And when they leave, so I'm always like, how did you feel? So it's either like, oh my God, I had a burst of energy and I cleaned out a bedroom, or I cried my eyes out for 12 hours, or I took a nap because I couldn't do anything else. But it's wonderful because that's your body's response.
Sure.
It's just releasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people, why would somebody come for like a Reiki session? Like, what is it that they're trying to
They're looking to, if they're looking to truly make a shift and a change, and they've tried to do it and they feel like they're stuck, like physically stuck, emotionally stuck, a lot of times work like this kind of healing work can really make a huge difference. You may not even know that the relationship with your father that's stuck in your right shoulder for the last 10 years that's been bothering you is the issue, or taking care of your mother that's over here who's elderly and you just can't get rid of the pain is really what's going on.
Wow.
Right? So there could be so many different things. Or the anger that you held on to for your whole life towards a loved one is resonating somehow in your liver. And so we're pulling that energy out. We can feel it. And I'll say, who is it you're mad at? Who have you been angry at? And people will look at me like, how do you know? I'm like, oh, your liver's just burning up. And I could say, I see a male energy, or, sometimes, and this is the other part, and mediumship is another skill, as part of the healing for the client, they are invited in only for the client's highest good. So there have been times where a loved one will sort of step into the session and I can see them. And I'll say, it's funny, I'm just remembering this. I had a client who had a rough relationship with her mother who passed away. And very early on into the session, I said, there's a woman here. And I described what she looked like. She goes, oh, that's my mother. I said, she's really sending you a lot of love. And she was a little surprised, but not,
Sure.
It's interesting because when we cross over, then all of that stuff just falls off. We have our life review and we look at oh, okay, that was the soul part we played, right? We had a part we agreed to in this life and we played it out, and God, I must have been an idiot those 10 years, but wow, look what I did,
Sure.
So many things can happen, but a lot of times something like that will happen.
Interesting.
I did have somebody who had a traumatic crossing and came in, and I saw the other person, and then there was a baby. I didn't know there was a baby, but she was pregnant. So things like that. And again, I have strict boundaries and borders and filters. So if they're coming in, it's for the highest good for the client, for the healing of the client. And it was a sore point for the client.
Sure.
It was a beautiful experience, but also for me, I like to say it's I'm just sort of I'm like an answering machine. It's spirit comes in, gives me the message, I spew it out.
Like the middleman.
I'm a middleman to the, it's not my job to hold on to it.
Sure.
It's just to deliver it. And that's what I try to do to help the client.
Wow. And these questions are kind of popping in my head as you're going. So how do you protect yourself?
So I do a lot of protection. I'm a big, protector, big believer in that. I talk about borders and boundaries.
Oh, speaking of boundaries, stop it.
So that was funny. So I'm big on borders and boundaries. So there's a couple of things that I do for protection. First thing is I believe in calling in every day. I say the Our Father prayer, which is an energetic prayer. It's not tied to religion. It is tied to the Christ consciousness and to the God energy, but it's frequency based. And if you understand that, it's sort of like the be all end all. Probably say that honestly 15 times in a day. I just say it. I fill my space with it. I also say the Hail Marys because I love to say the Hail Mary. In addition, I call in my angels every day for protection. I call in Archangel Michael for protection. I give gratitude for everything in my life. First thing in the morning, I have this saying, which is, show me how good it can be today. I can handle hard things, and then I go into what I'm grateful for.
I love that.
Yeah, so I speaking it has a frequency and a vibration.
Absolutely.
So I'm a big talker. The other thing I do is I will put protection around my home. So I have a lot of crystals, and crystals are not woo-woo. Crystals are, oh my God, I had one in my pocket. Was it right? I don't know where I put it. Oh, we have crystals.
Gigantic ones.
Right, here's a nice, rose quartz one for love. But I have a lot of the protective crystals. I have hematite, I have obsidian, selenite, which is a transmuter of energy. So we have it here. I have it in my doorway. The way I look at it is your home or your office is your sanctuary, it's your threshold, and you have to keep it clean and clear. So a lot of times you may come in with energy, stuck stuff on you. Other people walking in will have it on them. So you kind of want to always be filtering that out.
Sure.
In addition, I do spray some holy sprays that I like to sort of always spray the rooms and open the windows and do the good things at night or anytime during the day, quite frankly. But if I've been around a lot of people, water is wonderful for clearing and cleansing, and a salt scrub. Big believer in a salt scrub. Not a sugar scrub, it's salt. Mm-hmm. Salt is very protective.
Salt scrub. Okay.
And you can make it yourself. I just did it with some essential oils. Salt, I put a little sugar, salt, and I did jojoba oil in there. I put it in a little jar that I had.
Cool.
And I'll just scrub it and I'll just say, Spirit, just wash away any energy that does not belong to me.
That's great.
And transmute it. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that I do, and sound if you have a chime or a bell, sound is known for clearing energy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, wind chimes, bells on doors. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is interesting that we
I
put the home
was just
over.
literally going to say that. Wow.
Yeah.
We didn't think of that.
That clear. I know.
We did that so we could hear in the back.
That was an organic thing that Deana actually came up with.
I was thinking, we get in the back to clean up sauna and cold plunge. That's what Nordic on 9 is.
Yeah.
I don't think I said that before. So when we're in the back, we can't hear the door. So I wanted to have a way to know that people are coming in while we're back there. And we put a little bell there.
That's right.
That's fascinating.
I know.
That's good because there's a lot of people coming in and out. So
Yeah. Oh, I want to jump in and say sage. If you have sage, obviously you do that too. I just like personally the sprays that I have, so I use the sprays.
Yeah, the sprays are amazing. She actually gave Jenna and I 2 different ones. And Jenna's been keeping them in her little altar space. And I just steal them every once in a while.
When you need them.
When I need them.
Yeah. That's good. I like
That's good. And the whole reason for asking about protection is because, like she was saying, everybody has different energies and you can be walking around with somebody else's energy attached to you. So especially with doing your type of work, I'm sure you're constantly doing these things.
Yes.
To just cleanse your own space and energy.
A lot of time, people come in. It's interesting because I've had a couple of clients come in with some heavy energy, and it's associated with other people. But the fact is that they're holding it in their energetic field. So you're kind of trying to, you're working on it, you're moving it, you're clearing it. We do a lot of protection at the beginning. We do protection at the end. We close out. That's very important, by the way, if you do go to someone, to make sure that they begin the session with protection, that you have a clear space. You never want to be crossing into somebody else's energy.
Oh, yeah.
So the space is always cleared before, always cleared after. And then, I clear myself as the practitioner. So, but yeah, you don't know what people are going to walk in with.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're, as each individual, you're dealing with so many other individuals. So the energy it's just a constant flow.
Yes, absolutely.
Of good and not so good.
Yeah. That's the truth. Yeah.
And not the best.
Not always great.
So then the next question is, what is integrated energy therapy and how is it different from Reiki?
So integrated energy therapy specifically is working with the healing archangel, and then angels. So Archangel Raphael, and then there are other healing angels. So we call them in, an Archangel Ariel we work with. So we call them in and they call it the issues from the tissues. That's the saying. Yeah. Actually a lot, in the first 5 to 10 minutes, I can learn a lot just by working with them.
Wow.
And then I do things so differently. That's why I don't like to hang on the fact that, I know Reiki. It's like, no, let's just say I'm a healer. And I use these tools in the toolkit.
Sure, okay.
There are many, tools in the toolkit, but mostly it's love, right? So it's universal God source love with their help, with these Sui Reiki symbols, pushing it in, aligning it, taking it away. It's a lot of movement.
Just whisking
it in, put in the oven. Now, yeah, it's, that's really, it's very, what's the word? Heartfelt, work to do.
Yeah.
Not always easy, but definitely rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the session that we did was more of an intuitive
reading.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But still, you noted we did a lot of clearing before and clearing after.
Yeah.
Because we're inviting in my guides and her guides because we want to get information. But tricksters can come in. Or I call them that.
Okay.
Phyllis refers to them as tricksters.
Okay.
So you always want to bring them through the Christ energy and then bring them through. So you have clear, clean guidance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we have this clear, clean guidance. We clear, and then we clear after. We bless it and send light to it.
That's awesome.
I work in the light. That's what I choose to do.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That's a
Yeah.
You need a T-shirt like that.
Oh my God, that's a good idea. We should get that.
Oh, T-shirt, bumper sticker.
I work in the light. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, because I remember with I was saying with our session, we were sitting across from each other and it just seemed like you were, receiving these messages.
Yeah.
Which was just, again, super cool. So,
Thanks.
Yeah, I get super hyper focused. I've been loving just learning about all this stuff. And a couple days ago, I was just going on. It's just magic. It's just pure magic. You can't change my mind about it. But like the best magic, heavenly magic.
Yeah.
I think it's very cool. So,
Yeah.
all right. So that's the differences. And then do you prefer one over the other? Like, or is it?
No, because it's all in unison, really under the guides of love.
Okay.
So I think it's all, it's part of who I am. And that's the other thing about learning about myself. Another aspect, something I feel strongly about is, and I'm not an expert, but knowing your astrology, knowing who you are, knowing all of your astrological aspects, going to a really reputable astrologer, knowing your numerology. I mean, it's very important. Then you're like, oh, that's who I am. Okay, I'm not going to try to undo it. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel. It's going, okay, I accept this. This is the soul plan I came in with. It always aligns. I don't care who you are. Somebody gives you, a real good astrologer gives you your astrological reading, or, human design even, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
That helps to reinforce, and also I'm a big believer in it takes the pressure off, that you feel like you have to be somebody else.
No.
But like, no, this is who you are, and that's okay.
That's a question a little bit, it's not on this list, but going off of you saying you know who you are, do you have like suggestions for people who maybe feel like they don't know who they are, like how they could tap into that? Obviously astrology, I know you said it's like a good...
Yeah, I do have I have a great astrologer that I use. I'll give her name because I don't care. Her name is Phyllis Mitz, and she's out of Colorado. I get nothing for that. She's out of Denver, Colorado. And this woman is so wonderful.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored. She doesn't even advertise. Truth.
I believe it.
She doesn't advertise. And she is so smart. And when you sit and you listen to an hour or an hour and a half, you're like, holy hell, your mind gets blown away. Thank God you can record it.
Yeah.
Because the facts are ridiculous. I always say astrology has been around for hundreds of thousands of years. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And it's not woo-woo, right? So, and I feel like it's in concert with God's source energy. Like it's literally your soul plan. Numerology, you can get many books. There is somebody, I like Sue Frederick, if you follow her. She's written like 11 books on numerology. She's pretty fascinating.
All right.
Or whoever you like, not sponsored.
We always have to add that.
Yeah. Human design, if you can find someone, I don't have anybody at the moment, but there are some really great people out there.
Yeah.
That's a good way to begin to learn about who you are.
Okay.
And to understand, like, oh, that is me. That makes sense. We did your numerology, right?
Yes.
Yes. And we said she was a 5. 5s like change all the time.
Yes,
Isn't
I
it?
do. I do actually,
Yeah.
very much.
So it's like, you can't make it up.
Yeah. No, it's very on point. And I think for me also, like what I've noticed just with dealing with people, like on an everyday basis, is that I think there are a lot of people that don't totally know themselves.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with, maybe taking steps like that to kind of start to see a visual picture of yourself, but then also just kind of being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes over the years of talking to people and getting to know people, like I've listened to people talk about themselves and it doesn't totally match up.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, I don't know if you totally know who you actually are.
Yeah.
And I've gone through that myself where like I kind of thought at one point I was one person, and then like after watching my own actions and like things that I've said or done, I'm like, no, you're more this way. And let's just be honest about it.
Yeah, but I'm sure there were lessons along the way that got you there, right?
Yeah.
So you're like,
Absolutely.
now this is why I would love astrology to be a thing for children in school. Like if you had like a young child who's like a triple Gemini and you're like, they're hyperactive. It's like, no, they have all this Gemini energy. They're never going to learn the way you want them to sitting in a classroom with 20 other kids.
Yeah.
Like they need an outdoor school, more interactive. Like that's actually a brilliant kid. They're going to own their own corporation and do amazingly. Like,
Yeah. But they're not in the mainstream.
No.
Yeah.
I think
get
there's
that.
so much value to it, moms. So I think just saying, if you want to know about it, just saying, dropping out little mom. Yeah, it's
great.
valuable, and then it would make them feel better. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's why I have such a hard time in school, and
No, I agree with that. I mean, even like myself and my dad, like we've talked about this where like we really struggled in school. Like we just didn't do things the way other kids did them.
Yeah.
And it stinks that it's set up that way because I think you do have these very talented little kids that now don't feel like they're good enough because they're not in the same place as these other kids. And it's like not everybody's meant to be the exact same person and learn the same way and receive information the same way. So that's actually pretty cool. That might be something in your future that you can
never know.
Toss out there.
Yeah, I would love that.
I offer
that'd be fabulous.
this.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So let's see. I'm trying to find a question that maybe we didn't already kind of go over.
I know, I feel like I ran
No, it's good. It's good. That was the whole point. Is like I want so like the whole thing with Star Seeds is like we want to integrate as much like healing and wellness, and we want to introduce people to people who are doing these things.
Yeah.
While we work on learning how to do them ourselves, we're going to meet all these different people along the way, and to be able to promote or to show people, there's a person here in New Windsor, New York, that does all these incredible things, and if you're in that area, you have access.
And
even if you're not,
that's right, or not. Yeah.
I was actually very surprised by the Reiki being able to do Reiki remotely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was blown away by that.
Yeah, we should try it one day. Just so you could see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all energy, right? Energy is everything. It's like prayer. When you pray, it's energy that you're sending. When you're meditating, it's energy. When you're healing, you're sending energy. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, perfect example, the other day. They're like, God, this energy feels weird. What is it? You felt it.
Yeah. Yeah. How could you not? That was,
right.
Yeah.
So, and energy sent with intention, you're going to feel. And if you're open, so if you're set up, it's almost like you're like a tunnel. You're on one end, I'm on the other.
Sure.
We've made an agreement, and we're agreeing for a healing.
Yeah.
Right. So, right there is an exchange of energy that we're going to have. So,
which opened it up and allows it to flow through.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, that has blown my mind. I was like, before I met you, there was another person that I worked with on Long Island a while ago, and I saw them post on Facebook about virtual Reiki, and I was like, really? So I looked it up, and I was like, all right. And but now as I'm learning about energy, it makes more sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I was a little skeptical there for a second.
That's funny.
So let's see. I guess a good question. How can people start to become more aware of their own energy besides the astrology? Do you recommend like walks in nature or meditation or?
Yeah. So I think meditation can be scary. People are like, F that, I'm not meditating. I can't sit still. I get that. But there are ways to meditate without just sitting still.
Sure.
I call it the shower meditation. If you can just stand under the water for a minute and focus on the water, you just meditated.
Wow. Hey.
And water purifies your aura. Cold plunge purifies karma. We've talked about that, clears karma. Water clears karma. So I love the water one. You can do it for 2 minutes, a 2-minute meditation.
That's amazing.
All you have to do is focus on the water. So you're not focusing on anything else. You're just clearing and doing that. If you want to take a walk in the woods by yourself and just walk and focus on the ground or the sky, that's a meditation.
Those are my favorite meditations.
Yeah. I think you have to do what makes you feel good, disconnects us from electronics.
Yeah.
Hemi-sync meditations, you can YouTube that.
Okay.
Those are a different kind of meditation. And it's sort of like the sound that it gives you, that's like hemi-sync frequencies, they call it. But you can kind of tap into that and you'll end up somewhere.
Where we don't know.
Somewhere. And there's always sound bowls, which are fabulous because you're being healed by the frequencies. Mm-hmm. And you can really tap into that. And you can put them on Spotify or YouTube, and you can listen to that. I always have music with frequency playing in the background of my house. These solfeggio tones are healing. They have hertz that are healing to the body and the mind. Mm-hmm. So you can put on just a rotation of solfeggio tones that are just playing, and they're going to help you. They're going to help your pet. They clear the the air, right? Because it's frequencies you're sending into the air. So you can do that.
Yeah, the sound bowls are amazing. Her bestie, Candace Graciano, I'm saying that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
She was actually just here this past Friday, and she did an awesome sound bath while we had people in both of the saunas, and it was
pretty cool.
Incredible. So
Yeah.
if you need some sound bowl sounds to go off of, look her up, and you'll have that right there.
Yeah.
So also not sponsored. Just gotta toss it in there, you know?
Not sponsored. Who's going to sponsor Deana?
I'm saying, what are good companies?
That's funny.
You never know.
You never know.
So I'll keep it going. I'll just keep it moving. I'm keeping an eye on the time too. So I guess so I kind of asked about your cleansing, but like one of the questions is like personally reset when you feel overwhelmed. Like if you're having like a super overwhelming day.
Yeah. So, okay, a Christine overwhelming day. I will come and I will sauna and I will cold plunge by myself. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. I will go into that cold plunge for 2 minutes and I will make sure it's 2 minutes and I will say my prayers in the cold plunge. And then I will leave feeling good. I will go home to my animals. I will keep myself in my home. I have a Cancer moon, love my home. And I will then possibly take a walk if I want to. And I will eat good food and drink good water. If I have time to meditate, I will, or I will take a nap. I love a nap. I love a nap, but with my dogs around me.
Yes.
Yeah, I love a nap. And where I live, I have like a small pond in the backyard, and my backyard is full of birds. So birds chirping is a certain frequency that's very healing.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes I will just sit in the back on the deck, and I am just being healed by frequencies. Not talking to anybody. I'm not doing anything. I'm just being.
Yes. Sometimes you just have to stop.
Yeah.
And just be.
Yeah, that's definitely my go-to, is just to be in that space. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a big, I noticed that that's a little bit of an issue for people sometimes. Like I notice like friends or family, like they get very overwhelmed, and like my first thing to do is just say stop.
Yeah.
Like just stop, put it down, walk away, and just go be somewhere without like, you know, and then I noticed that it almost creates a reset. So that like, let's say you're getting overwhelmed by something specific. If you stop, take a break, come back to it, you almost come back to it and it looks almost different than how you left it.
Yeah.
So that's I think great advice.
Yes,
So.
absolutely.
And then I did have some questions about like, so like the current times now that we're in with especially the US, like there's a lot happening in the world right now. How do you process all of that personally?
Here's where I go to prayer. When I say my prayer or meditation or whatever my intention, I also do it for the world. I throw in massive healing to the world. I feel that if I personally can keep my world around me in a loving space, I'm doing my part. There's a domino effect.
Sure.
I don't want to get lost in the sauce. I don't watch the news. I don't even know how to turn the regular news on, truth. And I won't. Yeah. Not that I'm not aware.
No.
And I will send light, a lot of light always, because there's power in numbers. And if we could all like actually pull together with that intention of light and of healing and of more love, and keeping our communities loving and our homes loving and our friends loving and our businesses loving, working with our small businesses, like reaching out more to them, doing the things that we can do. For me personally, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Everybody has to do what they have to do.
Of course. Everybody does their own thing.
Yeah,
but
everybody do your own thing, but that's for me.
Yeah, I think it's good for people that when they're learning about healers to kind of know maybe what they're doing that's keeping you so grounded, and you know, because I think also sometimes people just kind of need to hear these things, like they don't think of it themselves or even know it's an option. You know, like it's an option to not watch the news. You know, as much as we want to get pulled into it, you have that choice to just turn it off. I'm not saying walk around with blinders on, but you don't need to dive into it to a point where it's incapacitating you.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Because now it's the idea of like, you don't know how much you really affect the people around you,
Yeah.
right? Your partner, your spouse, your children, your more loved ones, your friends, your coworkers. Well, if it's like the bowl of fruit, and the one fruit has mold on it. It affects all the fruit. Right?
Absolutely.
So you're trying to raise your vibration.
Yeah.
You're trying to give light and a higher vibration to the earth and to the people on the earth. Also, it's always my focus.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a do unto others without the action. It's just more energetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of answers this question. What do you think we as a society can do to help one another right now?
Love each other.
More love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love each other.
Absolutely. I think personally, I think if you think about everything that's going on, the basis of it is a lot of hatred. So the complete opposite of that, love.
There you go.
Yeah.
Happy. Nina and I, we crack ourselves up.
We have a good time. Excuse me.
I should have brought Cheddar. No.
Oh my God. If she brought Cheddar, this would have never happened.
Wait, you know what? We could put a picture at the end. She'll put a picture of Cheddar.
I'm going to put the cutest
She's
picture.
obsessed with Cheddar.
I mean, I have my own dog, and I love my dog. But this freaking dog, Cheddar. You talk about cute aggression. If you guys know cute aggression, I just want to punch my phone every time I see his stinky little face.
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh my God, he's adorable. She jailed him a couple days ago, and
Naughty.
I was making signs. Free Cheddar.
Naughty.
So we're getting close to a wrap up. So let's see. For people who are curious but hesitant
Yes.
about your type of work, what would you say to them?
I would say give me a call. Maybe we can talk about it. You
Yeah.
can email it. I have no problem having conversations with people.
Yeah.
I would say try it, give it a go. You're never going to lose. It's never going to hurt you.
Yeah.
You're only going to feel good,
That's so true.
and that's the truth. And why not feel better?
Yeah.
We all need to be in a better space. We really do. And we need to be healing. There's no time for staying in old stuff. I want to use a different word, but I'm going to say stuff. And in order to do that, you have to heal. And it's your responsibility as an individual. That's an inside job. And as an individual, you need to seek out the people who will align with you.
Sure.
So whether that be me or someone else, it's very, very, very important.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Like, especially that it's your responsibility.
It really is.
Like, if you got stuff, we all got stuff.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, it is absolutely your responsibility.
Yes.
So if you don't want to be in that stuff anymore,
Yeah.
take the steps to get yourself out there. Because I've been there, done that, and I'm very grateful that I did take the steps.
Yeah.
Each year is better and better. So what brings you joy outside of your work?
My
Just the
family.
personal stuff.
Yes, yes. I have my husband. I'm remarried, by the way. It'll be 14 years this year. 14 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
I know. Is it 14? 13? I got to do the math.
We're in the teens.
We're the teens. Yeah, so we're married, and we have 3 adult children, and they have lives, and they live, fruitful lives, and they live relatively close, so we get to all be doing stuff together and enjoying each other. And we have many dogs we love animals, and then we have multiple businesses that we run because, we're very passionate about what we do. And that really just brings me joy.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you what's a great night, if I'm home and everybody come over for dinner, we have a nice dinner, and we have game night, oh my God.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the big family dynamic. I love stuff like that. So, and their family's amazing.
Aw,
all of
thank
them.
you.
They're so fun.
Thank you.
I had a great conversation with Amanda yesterday about Peanut. This other super adorable dog. I'll have to put a picture in.
Yeah.
And then I guess, so who inspires you? Who are your inspirations?
Oh boy.
I know Big JC.
The Big JC is my inspiration. I'll tell you, there's a woman who I follow, and I think I love her because she's so modest. Lorna Byrne is her name, and she's out of Ireland. And although she has a very Catholic edge, it's like, forget the religious part, but just like listen to her words. She's so humble. She actually is dyslexic, and the books she wrote, she was guided to dictate them.
Sure.
And she's been working with the angels since she was 3 years old. She's so humble and fascinating and loving. You watch a video from her and you feel like she just hugged you.
Oh, wow.
I just really love
look her
her.
up.
I really do adore her. And then there's some other people who I do follow, but I don't know if I am like a fangirl of anybody really. Sorry. I don't think I am.
It's just like a fangirl on myself.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't think, like for myself, I don't have like a laundry list of people who inspire me. It's like a pretty short list. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like people like that, I admire that. Like, she's so selfless, and then when she does what she does, it's like, she's just loving.
Magic.
It's magic.
You're giving me that magic vibe.
Yeah, she is magical. She's magical.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, so are there any projects or events you're currently working on, or anything that like you kind of have like, that you want to do for the future? Yeah,
Yes.
in the works.
Yes, I do actually. So I'm working on a new website actively. So that's coming up. I'm writing a book.
The titles of the chapters are awesome.
All divinely guided. Yeah. But pretty spot on with the idea of like, be responsible for yourself.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm also working on my own divine sprays, clearing sprays.
That's right.
And oracle cards.
Yeah. Oh, I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I want people to be able to bring through the angels and spirit the way I do. So I'm going to, work on that. And I just feel like that would be great. So that's this year coming up.
Cool.
So it's a big year.
Yeah, 2026.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
And then and the other part is I'm basically going mostly virtual. So that's
Cool.
which is a good thing, because I can reach more people and pets. That's the other thing, is really focusing on the healing of the pets. I do heal pets. I have a good track record with that. And energy is energy.
Yeah.
Pets do talk to me, and we do healing, and so we're going to work together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because our pets are talking to us, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's, and that might be also another thing too. Like if anybody's listening and you're having maybe a little disconnect with your pet,
Yes.
Christine can help.
I can help. Absolutely. Yes.
And then people can connect with you through, you said Facebook, Instagram.
Instagram, heliotropeholistic.healing.com. Heliotrope is actually a Greek word, which means a flower that follows the sun. So tulips follow the sun, sunflowers follow the sun.
Your tattoo.
That's right, my tattoo right there. So yes, they can get me through that. Their email connected to the website, Christine@heliotropeholistic.healing.com. I'm sorry, it's long. I'll shorten it. But that's how you can reach me, or IG or Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You just hit the little link and it'll take you there.
That's
You
right.
don't need to type the name.
No, we don't. We definitely don't. Yeah.
And then if someone listening right now wants to do what you're doing, like they feel very tapped into that kind of stuff, how do you suggest they get started?
I would look up, so if you want to begin with Usui Reiki, you could look up Usui Reiki 1 courses in your area. Really check out who the teacher is.
Okay.
Because I did a couple of phone calls, I felt around, and I'm very, very, very happy with the woman who I worked with, who's a shaman in addition to what she does. She's absolutely gifted and intelligent and intuitive. And she was a good match for me.
Oh, okay.
So really check around, feel into it. I mean, if you're suspecting that might be the road you want to go down, you already have a good intuition. Everybody has an intuition. Mm-hmm. So that's how I would say to do it.
Would you want to share her name?
So there are 2 that I would share. So Deana Paqua is her name. So Embody the Sacred is the name of her business.
I like that name.
Yeah. And then Maria Davis. And Maria works out of the Angel Cooperative in Ridgefield, Connecticut. And so those 2 are like my top.
Oh, gotcha.
wonderful, I think.
Nice. Yeah, because usually when I post them, I put in the captions links to everything that we talk about.
I'll send there.
Yeah, this way people can look up exactly what we talked about throughout the podcast.
Yeah.
I like to make it easy peasy.
Yeah. They're wonderful instructors. Yes.
And then I guess really just like some fun ones, like favorite color.
Favorite color?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's a version of it's actually a salmon.
Okay.
I don't even know if we have it. It's like a salmon pink. Oh my God, that tulip. Hold on. I'm gonna get it. Hold on, folks. So it's like this color, pink, or like a nice teal green. I like a green. I like a purple. Not on me, but I like it. Or magenta. I don't know. I just gravitate.
Yeah, you're like in the red tones, basically. Yeah. Okay.
I like it. Go ahead, next.
All right. Favorite book?
God. Favorite book, The Surrender Experiment.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about that. Yeah, that's right.
Fantabulous. And you can listen to it. And I'll tell you what, if you need to let go of everything you're trying to hold on to or anything you think you're holding on to, that is fabulous.
Yeah.
So lovely to listen to the way he talks. And he's just talking about his own life. He's just telling stories about letting go. And when you see how flow can open up for you, so good.
That's awesome. Yeah. So if you're not into audiobooks, I highly just recommend giving them a try. Just because like you can do like tasks while you're like listening to amazing information.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most of the time when I want to do like some type of, I guess what they would be considered like spiritual or self-help type of book, I listen to them. I don't know why, I just receive them so much better.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely check that out because he's actually the author of another book that we're a big fan of. And of course, I'm blanking on the name.
The Untethered Soul.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
On it, always on it.
Not always.
And that really with this phone, excuse me.
So funny.
Okay, so favorite color, favorite book. Okay, favorite movie?
The Time Traveler's Wife.
Really?
I love that movie.
Okay.
It's so
Very
cool.
cool.
Yeah, it's a cool movie.
Awesome.
But I also, what else do I like? There's just something on the other night that we watched that I actually, no, let's just stick to the Time Traveler.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then one more favorite.
I do like Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. This is why we're friends.
I do, and Return of the Jedi. Star Wars, that was my first movie, by the way, when I was a kid. Now I'm dating myself. It was the very first movie in a theater in Queens, a movie theater, and I fell asleep because all I saw, if you know the movie, you know, the black and then the writing, and then I tossed down. I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at. Man, I slept the whole movie.
It was the reading that got her.
It's like my balls are going as big as that. It's like,
that's amazing.
But no, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. I do like those two.
I love that. Yeah, I'm a super Star Wars nerd, so that makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last music.
Oh, I actually love jazz.
Oh, you're into jazz.
I love a smooth jazz. I just like jazzy music. I like to feel like, I don't know, like I'm at a cocktail party and it's smooth and it's calm and it's warm and it's hip. And it's hip, but it's not too much. I love that.
I love that too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, actually, at dinner, we put on, on Spotify, it's like French Bistro Jazz or French Bistro or whatever, dinner jazz. You just put on all these jazz.
That's so funny.
I know.
They're getting dressed up.
And we're eating dinner to it. But if we don't have music on, it feels weird.
I could see that. Like if there's not like, even like a movie playing in the background or some type of sound, I get that.
I love it.
Yeah.
But the kids, what's funnier is seeing the kids. Like when Amanda got Peanut, she's like, oh, I left her by herself, but I put some jazz on for her. I was like, what did you just say? Like
so awesome.
Like you don't even realize the effect you have on them that like they actually, and then there's some Olivia Dean, I really love her as an artist. No sponsorship. Yeah, I love her. I love her music and, tones and beats, and she's so smooth. And it's like, my son's like, Mom, you're really going to like her. I'm like, influencing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Matt, okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, that kind of music, yeah.
Very cool. All right, so now you get to know Christine a little more on a personal level.
On a personal level.
Okay, who's your favorite dog? I'm just kidding. Just like not Jenna right now.
No, I'm not.
No. Do you have any closing comments or anything you'd like to say before we close out?
Yeah, I'm a hopeful person. I like to think positive, and I have hope. I have hope that we can pull it together.
I love that.
That we can pull it together, and we can love each other, and we can do better. And we can do good for each of us. And you don't have to worry about conquering everything or everyone, but just like work on your world.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say anything else because that was the best way to close that out.
Yay.
Yes. Thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
here.
This was a blast. I had so much fun.
Thank you, so did I, as always. So you can check this out. I'll post it on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'll pull the audio as well. And hopefully can get that up on like a Spotify and Apple Music.
Awesome.
So thanks so much for being here with us. Thank you for being here with me today and letting us use your beautiful space.
Yeah, thanks.
Again, this is Nordic on 9, sauna and cold plunge. Check it out. And Christine Dorsey has joined us for podcast number 4.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right. This was great.